Hello, Love Talkers, welcome to the program, the show that ends the butterflies in your stomach and brings you back to reality with a healthy dose of intelligent love.
In today's program, we've got a real treat for you. In a jam-packed episode full of goodness and excitement. Not only did we visit Paris for a special day out, but we also got an interview with a special couple whose story is quite unconventional.
And since we're talking about if it's possible to learn to love someone, Helena and I will be giving an interview later about what made us fall in love with each other and learn to love each other in spite of mistakes we have.
With James and I, it wasn't love at first sight. Not to mention this kind of love only happens in movies. But as we started to learn about each other, even the little annoying things, we began to develop something really special.
You see, the truth is that you can never truly say you love someone until you have learned everything about them and can still say you love them. Some of the passion we have in life, whether it's football, any other specific sport, or even a hobby, sometimes doesn't start as an explosion, but maybe as a slow burn.
Buckle up, because we will take a big dig at the love at first sight myth. You won't want to miss it.
Steph, you did not tell me to do that.
I told you last night. Is it impossible for you to put the throw pillows on the bed, right?
It's not the fact that you're constantly nagging. No, wait, that's exactly it.
Why don't you ever listen to me?
Why don't you go back to the mall, go to all the other stores, and pretend like we don't have a budget there either?
Why don't you just go watch the game with your friends, because that's what you complain that you don't get to do anyway.
No thanks, I'm having way too much fun getting yelled at!
There are dishes in the sink. Last week you did the exact same thing.
Well, guess what you did last week? Let's look at this shirt.
Oh, come
look at
on.
shirt I'm wearing. Does this not mean anything?
I bought it for you.
Right now,
I don't
stop.
want to talk to you anymore.
let's
Brandon! Because I just can't look at you.
That's right. I'm literally leaving to go hang out with my friends right now.
Okay, bye.
Literally almost in the car right now.
See you later. Buckle up.
Thanks, I will. It's deer season, so I'll make sure to be extra careful. I'm done.
I'm done too, Brandon.
I'm done more.
No, I'm ending it. I'm the bigger person. You're the smaller person.
I'm literally bigger than you. Done.
Fine.
Okay.
Why don't you go? I'm tired of looking at you.
Congratulations, Steph. You just became your mother.
Oh, I'm going to call your mom right now. I'm calling her. That's
Wait,
it.
hold on 1 second, please. Hold on. Do you forgive me?
Yeah, I forgive you. You forgive me.
I do forgive you. One thing that we have to remember is that your species
Gender.
is a very complex kind, and us guys, we're just really.
Simple-minded.
Yes, exactly.
You didn't get it. That went over your head. It means you're an idiot.
Just because it went over my head doesn't make me an idiot.
That's right. If you are not in a relationship right now, or if you have never been in one, the moments you just saw do happen. And by the way, thank you to our friends at Modern Marriage Moments for making this wonderful video and let us use it.
Now, if the reality that you always have to learn to love someone is really true, then that throws the cat among the pigeons with the whole love at first sight thing. Although we have been sold this idea for many, many years, the reality is that this is not really possible.
Indeed, you may really like someone when you first meet them, but there is no chance of loving that person right at that moment. How do you know who that person is? They could be a cheat, a crook, and a bunch of other unsavory things.
I really liked Helena when I first saw her picture, and then when I met her. But I didn't start loving her until some time later. As I learned about her very different personality and strong character, I developed something that I had never experienced before with her.
But to better give you an idea of what really lit that spark between us, we gave a very candid interview earlier that talks just about us. So don't go anywhere, because after the break, you will also get to see our road trip to Paris, especially to interview our unique guests with the backdrop of the city behind us.
First one is when I tell him something and he forgets straight away. 2 minutes later, I ask him, did you understand what I said? He has already forgotten. Wow. Yeah, it's the first thing.
You ask me something and I take time to answer, then you just say, forget it. That word, forget it.
When I'm eating, and he likes to eat from my plate all the time.
when you ask me something, do you like this dress? It's gonna look nice on me? And then when I say yes, then you don't believe. Yeah, this I would say. So what about you?
And the last thing is when I ask his opinion about the way I'm dressed, and he takes time to answer, or he's not honest, he says everything looks nice on me, it's impossible.
Des yeux qui font baisser les miens, un rire qui se perd sur sa bouche, voilà le portrait sans retouche de l'homme auquel j'appartiens. Quand il me prend dans ses bras, qu'il me parle tout bas, je vois la vie en rose.
So we've just arrived in Paris and we are outside Montmartre. We're going to go to the top of the hill there, and we're here to interview a couple who have an amazing story, but also to see some of the sights.
Indeed, I'm so excited about it. I can't wait to get up there and get the great view of Paris.
It's a long climb, but let's go.
Dont je connais la cause, c'est lui pour moi, moi pour lui dans la vie. Il me l'a dit, l'a juré pour la vie. Et dès que je l'aperçois, alors je sens dans moi mon cœur qui bat. Des nuits d'amour à plus finir, un grand bonheur qui prend sa place, des ennuis, des chagrins s'effacent, heureux, heureux, à en mourir. Quand il me prend dans ses bras, qu'il me parle tout bas, je vois la vie en rose. Il me dit des mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours, et ça me fait quelque chose. Il est entré dans mon cœur une part de bonheur dont je connais la cause. C'est toi pour moi, moi pour toi dans la vie. Tu me l'as dit, m'as juré pour la vie. Dès que je t'aperçois, alors je sens dans moi mon cœur qui bat.
Right, we're at the top of Montmartre. It took us a while to climb this hill, but you can see at the back here the view of Paris, and it looks beautiful. And I have here a couple that have a really nice story, Dominic and Judith. How are you guys? Good? Now, you have an interesting story, Dominic, because you liked Judith for how long before she gave you a chance?
That's right. I liked her for 1 year before she gave me the chance to do it, to realize.
So you must have done something right because she changed her mind. What was it that wasn't, it didn't attract you to him in the past? What made you change your mind?
Well, he was someone that spoke a lot, and that put me off. Because I think for a man, shouldn't speak so much. So when I saw him, he spoke a lot. I wasn't attracted to him physically as well. But I didn't give him the chance. I didn't give the chance to get to know him a little bit more. I was looking at the outside, and the outside didn't call my attention.
So he wanted to get to know you, but you didn't even give him a chance for him to... Did you feel bad that you weren't even being given a chance to show who you truly were?
No, I was not feeling bad because I was sure of myself, and anything in life you need to conquer. So I needed to conquer her.
You never gave up. And today we're talking about learning, if you can learn to love, or it has to be something right from the beginning. And we're going to hear from Judith in a minute that she learned to love, right?
Yeah, but I want to ask you, ask you something. What kind of stuff did you used to do to attract her attention? Because we hear a lot of singles say, oh, she didn't like me, he didn't like me, so I kind of gave up. They gave up easily. What did you used to do to pursue your your dream of being with her? What did you do?
So what I did, I called her attention because I know that most of the women, they need to be secure. So I needed to show that I can give you the security, that I need to give her the strength that, no, if I'm with Dominic, so I'm okay. So
what did you do to show her that she would have that security?
So as she was saying, I was speaking a lot. But I was speaking a lot, but I knew what I was saying. I was sure that I was not speaking a lot, just things that no sense, but I was speaking and I know what I was doing. And then when I used to see her, I would put myself nice, perfume. I would pass on purpose next to her.
So you would do everything for her to notice you, right?
And let me ask you something. So you did not change your personality so that she could be pleased with you. So you were still yourself, but you were confident about yourself, right? Because this is important to mention. Many people, they change who they are so that they can please someone. And they even get into a relationship for a while and they are not themselves, they are suffocated. And they go on, they get engaged, and they realize later on that, I'm not happy because I'm not myself. And is it really worth that this person is with me because I'm trying to be someone else? So I really like what you said. You were still yourself, still talking, but really confident about what he was saying.
So even though she said no for a year, you would make sure that you would walk in front of her, put some nice perfume. Was it the fact that he would always try to look nice and walk wherever you were that made you change your mind, or did you know he was doing that?
No, I didn't know. Because at the beginning, like I said, I didn't know that he liked me. But the way he looked at me, when he was walking around me all the time, I started to think, why? I never used to speak to him, but now he's all the time around me. So I thought maybe he does like me. And then I thought to myself, I'm going to make things difficult. Because, like I said, I wasn't so attracted to his appearance and the way he was. But I already decided, it's something that I'd already decided inside of me, that the person that's going to be with me is going to have to conquer me. And I'm going to make it difficult because I had some bad experiences in the past.
But why did you want to make it difficult for him? The guy was already struggling because you didn't notice him. Why did you want to make it difficult? What was the reason behind that?
Because I learned something in my past relationships. It's not about just being with someone. It's about the person has to deserve you and you have to deserve to be with the person. Like he said, the security is something that women look for. And there was many offers. It wasn't just him. But there's something that caught my attention because he was there all the time. He was there insisting all the time, so he didn't give up. So I thought to myself, okay, I'll make it difficult. He keeps insisting. If he insists until the end, so he deserves to be with me.
So the fact that he never gave up, that's what made you, change your mind about him initially. So you started to notice him. You said, let me give him a chance. When did you notice that you started liking him? What was it about him that made you to start to like him?
It's funny because I thought to myself, first of all, his perseverance. After when I saw his persevering, I said, okay, now I'm going to investigate to see really who he is because I didn't know him. He was in another place and I was in another place as well. So I asked the people that was around him how he is, the way he is, and everything was positive. So there I opened my heart, if you like. And I started to like him. I started to have feelings towards him, but I didn't say anything to him. I kept it to myself.
So you were liking him, but you didn't tell him. You made him suffer a little bit longer.
Let me ask you something. When did you actually come up to her and say, listen, I like you?
It was funny because he was really quick. It was one day I saw on the stairs and I stopped her. I said, I want to be with you.
Just like that, I want to be with you.
Just like that. I want to be with you. What do you think? And she said, okay.
Say something. And you see, we had the singles hour, right? Last Saturday. We've been doing...
At Love Talk Live.
Yes, at Love Talk Live, where the singles get together. We invite them to do so. But some, I hope that they may learn with your story when it comes to perseverance. And also, not just waiting for an event to come up, for them to approach someone. Because if you hadn't asked her out or say, listen, I want to be with you, someone else would. Maybe there was someone else watching her and thinking, she said there was. So you see, it's a very good example that, just do what you have to do. The worst that can happen is no thank you, but thank you. I wish you all the best. But at least you've tried. So I applaud you for that. Indeed.
We're going to go to a little break, but we're going to find out from Dominic and Judith how things were in the beginning of the marriage. Because shortly after they got married, they moved to Paris. I know it was a culture shock for Judith. We're going to find out how they made things work. Today we're talking about, is it possible to learn to love someone? In Judith's case and Dominic's case, we can see that it is possible. She didn't like him for a year, but his perseverance made her change her mind. We'll be right back.
Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. Ni le bien qu'on m'a fait, ni le mal, tout ça m'est bien égal. Non, rien de rien. Non, je ne regrette rien. C'est payé, balayé, oublié. Je me fous du passé.
Right, we are here with our lovely guests, and I would like to know now what happened after they got married. So, Judith, you came all the way to Paris to live with your husband now. How was it for you to adapt? Tell us everything.
I was a bit traumatized because I didn't speak the language and everything is French and no one spoke English, so I was a bit stuck because I depended on my husband for everything because he's French, he speaks French. So even to go to the shop, I needed him around to help me communicate. So it was really difficult at the beginning. And then it put a weight as well on our marriage because we were newly married, we were 9 months married. No experience. I didn't know him that well, and he didn't know me because we got married quickly after we started going out. And then it was time to get to know each other, but we were in this strange, if you like, strange country, and we didn't know what to do, how. It was a bit lost. But with time, and we had loads of problems at the beginning because of that, because he did give me the attention that we all women desire and need. So. But because he was adapting as well, but I didn't give him the opportunity to adapt. I was adapting, but I was thinking about myself and not so much of him. So it put a heavy weight on our relationship.
Dominic, how did you deal with that? I mean, did you have to have special care with her to know that you had to be there for her more than usual? How did you resolve that problem? How did you come to, let your marriage reach a point where you dealt with that situation well?
But when we arrived, so it was heavy weight because first of all I conquered, and then I said, but I'm already married, so now I'm fine. Every day I see her in the night, we talk, and then I thought that was it. But after she was speaking to me now, look, you don't give me the intention. Look, you're selfish. And then I thought that she was picking and she was demanding. I said, but what do you want me to give to you? I'm coming because I was focusing on work. I was working, so I come home, I'm tired, I'm sleep, I go straight to sleep. And I was not giving her the attention. But after that, I said, no, if she's demanding something, so it means that there is a problem. So I start to analyze the situation. I start to look at her need, and then I start to listen what she was demanding, and I put it into practice. And then bit by bit, we start to get on.
So tell me something. How long did that last for? How long did it go for? Like that you guys had these struggles of adapting to each other and also the new country, a new language. How long?
Well, first year of marriage, we were 9 months married when we moved here. Donc, until the first year was okay. But after the second year, third, fourth, it was really, really difficult. I even reached a moment that I wanted to go back. Because I didn't know what to do and I didn't know how. I didn't have an experience because a marriage doesn't come with a manual. We learn with each other.
Are you sure marriage doesn't come with the manual? I don't know. Maybe there's a manual we don't know about.
But there's love talk. You see?
So I think 3 years after, I can say we established our marriage, he started to understand me. I stopped complaining because I changed first. But I didn't know that I had to change first. Before marriage, people spoke to me, told me about marriage. But it's one thing to have the theory and it's another thing to live the situations. Two things different.
It's because each couple is different, isn't it? We are all different. You can never say, let's say that I'm your friend, I'm already married, and I say to you, hey, Judith, just do this and that, you can't go wrong. It doesn't happen that way because you guys are different.
Exactly. So I learned to zip it. I learned to listen. I learned to respect him because one of the things that really marks the change in our marriage and our relationship is I learned how to respect him. Because a man, when he doesn't feel that respect from his own wife, he doesn't feel respected anywhere. So when I learned to respect my husband, that's when he learned to listen to me. Because he was like, I was screaming, speaking, but he wasn't hearing me. It's like his ears were blocked. But when I learned the secret of respecting him and letting him take his place in the marriage, that's when things changed.
It's important to say that it's not just you that learned, because Dominic learned as well to give you the attention that you needed, because in the beginning you're focusing so much on your work that you forgot about everything else. And tell me something, if now your marriage is at a really good place, you guys have adapted not only to the country but to each other, what is the one advice, Dominic, that you would give to someone who maybe has this clash of cultures or clash of adapting into a new place? What would your main advice be?
So the advice I will give to them is because usually we're looking at ourselves. We look at ourselves, but we need to look at the partner that we are with. We need to observe what she needs, what they need, because we always observe our part, but we don't look at the other part. And then in marriage, I learned, and I will tell them that I got married to make her happy, not to make me happy. If she's happy, I'm happy.
Would you say, just first to finish, would you say that this is a learning experience about how to love?
Yeah, a learning experience how to love is to look. Don't look at yourself. Look at your partner. Find out what she needs, and there's something that says the one that search, you will find.
Thank you so much, guys, for giving us this interview. It was a great pleasure coming here to your city. You can now call it your city. And you do speak French now. Well done. Thank you so much. And that's it for today. We are here in Paris in this lovely coffee shop, if we can call it so, outdoors. And that's it for today.
And au revoir.
Au revoir. We met through mutual friends. So basically, they spoke amongst themselves and they thought, I think they match. Let's try and match them. Let's see if they like each other. So we first met in my hometown, and from there we had a lovely time. We spoke. When he came over to my city, we spoke. We had spent some time together before he came back to the UK. So yeah, that's how we met. And then we started writing to each other, we started calling each other, and then we started dating.
Well, I came from a relationship that didn't work at all. I dated this person for 8 months, and that's why I believe so much in intelligent love, because at that time I didn't really understand this or practice this. So it was a very emotional relationship. Everyone that I knew could see that this person wasn't good for me. The only person who couldn't see that was myself. And of course, when that relationship ended, it was a little bit hard for me. When I had a chance to meet Helena, we were introduced by someone who knew her from Portugal. So they said, look, maybe this person would be nice for you. Why don't you get to know her? And when I met Helena, I had a very different approach to relationships. I wasn't emotional at all. So I was very much... I wanted to make sure that I was going to get this right. I was a little bit too tough in the beginning. And that's how we met. There's a funny story when I heard from her that she was a certain height. My friend said, listen, it's better for you to stand against the wall and I'll measure you with a ruler just to make sure you're a little bit taller than her.
Before he left to the UK, we had a lot of time to talk, and I asked him many questions, and he also did the same. And I saw that we had a lot in common, and we had the same goals. We liked not everything. We didn't like everything the same, but we had lots of common goals. And even the way he is and the way he behaved and the way he spoke and everything, I mean, I got curious and I thought, I think this might be it. So after a month or so, I decided to travel to the UK and spend like a year or so to get to know him better. And that's when we started dating.
I think after a couple of dates, 1 or 2 dates, I really knew I wanted to date her already, straight away. And I remember I asked her a question. We were walking by the beach, and I asked her a question. Look, where do you see this relationship going? I like you. I believe you like me as well. So I was a little bit confident in saying that. And I said, look, would you like to date me? And she said, look, I never forget her answer because I teased her till today. She said, look, I want to go forward. If you want to go forward with me, let's go forward together. and that's Helena in a nutshell for you. That's why I like her.
One of the first things I noticed about him was that he was very sure of himself. And that for me was like spot on. I used to be very indecisive as a person. And then when I saw that in him, that actually was one of the requirements for me, to see in my future husband, he had to be decisive. So I liked that about him. He was very decisive, very sure of himself, and very gentlemanly. And I don't know, he had this smile and everything about him that I just, couldn't resist, basically. Yeah.
It's interesting because what I liked the most, in a way, is also what I disliked the most. Because I really liked the fact that she was independent, she was outgoing, she was, she wasn't a pushover. She really knew what she wanted. But sometimes that independence went a little bit overboard, and we had some clashes because I was also very independent. So it's like we were pulling to different sides sometimes, and it took a while for us to adjust that. So I really liked the fact that she was very independent. She was mature for her age. She knew what she wanted. She had goals. But sometimes that independence got in the way a little bit.
So what I found the most difficult while dating in the early days was, of course, he was my first boyfriend, and I was very intolerant if I can say so. I was very strict. I had an image of people in my mind that is not real, like, oh, my future husband has to be a certain way. And it wasn't realistic, because I started seeing that people are people, they're not perfect. So I had to be patient. I had to just let go of wrong ideas that I had and, form new ideas and be less strict with what I wanted.
I think what was a little bit difficult in the beginning of our dating period was the fact of the independence that I already spoke about. But I think the main thing is that I wasn't really able to separate, understand that emotions do have a place and feelings do have a place in a relationship, even though they shouldn't override your judgment, your intelligence, your decisions. And I think I was too radical in the beginning, and that caused a few problems. I think I should have been more in tune with, the feelings of the relationship. I was too pragmatic, too radical in that sense. So it took me a little bit to have a balance, I should say. So I think that was a little bit difficult for Helena, for me as well. Not a big deal, because I got there in the end, but it was a little bit difficult.
I guess nobody did. But let me explain. When I moved when I moved to the UK, I kind of knew already what I wanted, and so did he, because we spoke before he left. If we spoke to one another and we asked each other, do you think there is a future here? We were very honest from the beginning, and we knew what we wanted. And of course I was looking for someone, and meeting him was a bonus. So when the time came for us to propose, for us to, should we get married or not, it did not happen the conventional way. We looked at one another. Do you think this is going well? Yes, I do. So let's go for it and see what happens. Basically, that's what happened. We did not have a fairy tale kind of proposal or anything. It was all very here, and that's how it went.
This is a little bit of a strange one, because the thing is, there was a point in our relationship we always knew that we were going to get married. So I don't think there was a proposal. We always said, after I knew her quite well and she knew me quite well, we had the same goal. So we always said, we're going to get married. I don't think there was a proposal as such. We just knew exactly what we wanted together. We wanted the same thing. So it was a natural progression in our relationship. And that always leads me to, I usually say to people that it shouldn't be a surprise whether someone wants to marry you or not. I see a lot of people getting nervous. Oh, if I propose to her, what if she doesn't say yes? I mean, you should know where you're walking together towards, and that was our case. I think after a while of us being together, living together, being married, you start to see a side to the person that you didn't see before, a side that you see every day, and you start to love that side that you didn't see before you were married, before you lived together. So even little things that people consider to be flaws, which I don't see as flaws. It's what characterizes that person for us. It's a side to her that only I know that exists. Even her mom doesn't know. So I think that's what made me learn to love her even more, because only I have access to that side.
It's true. And it's like this. When we were dating, I thought to myself, okay, we've had quite a lot of arguments, because we used to argue about silly things, silly things, many silly things. So I thought to myself, okay, I can handle this. And when he gets nervous or when he gets upset, I can so handle it. So I thought, this is the guy for me, you know what I mean? It was just, can't even explain it. I'm not going to talk about the pizza incident.
That's for another show.
That's for another show. You have to stick around. So, there's things that are unique to him. And, that, in the beginning of our marriage, it was a big deal. But then it was just like, you know what, let him be him. Give him space. you've got so many flaws as well. So what's the point of you stressing over small things? Doesn't make sense. So
In a nutshell, we accepted each other.
yes. I think we've kind of respect each other more. And my husband, I think, gave up on trying to organize me.
I still try a little bit, but it's not going to happen, so I gave up. And that's it.
Yeah, that's it really. It's a daily thing, you know. We can't really say, oh, it's this and that. As it comes, you deal as it comes, and I think humbleness plays a big role in us having a good relationship. You know, I cannot want to be right every time, and him as well. Sometimes I have to accept that my will not be done, and his will be done, and vice versa. Yeah.
So it's a compromise. Sometimes you have to take the rough with the smooth, as they say, but you learn to love those parts as well. And I think that's what did it for us.
Hello everyone, we are here finding out what people think about love, what love is. I'm here at Hyde Park and it's a beautiful day. So many people, so many couples and singles alike. And let's find out. So what do you think love is? I mean, what is love to you?
Love is an expression that you feel inside. For example, you can feel love about the nature. You can feel love about the person. It's an emotion that you have inside. You can't describe when you love it or when you're in love with somebody. It's very difficult because it happens when you in this moment you don't expected that. So you just come. It just come and just you're feeling inside. You know that it's happened, but you always reject that. I don't know why. But in Spanish, I can say el amor es algo muy bonito. Es algo que no se puede describir, pero está. It's very simple. You have to follow the love. That's what I mean.
I think love is something that, well, you want to be with somebody who you really enjoy spending time with, and that is who you want to be with. That's love for me.
What about you?
Love is walking in Hyde Park on a lovely summer's day with your wife. Mwah.
They're cute.
Yeah, I think love is the thing that happens when I met my wife. It's just something in the stomach. I met her and I thought, okay, it's different to other girls I met. And this is 25 years ago now. So actually, love is not really the thing, the feeling is not really keeping for 25 years. It's changing, there are ups and downs, but I think as long as you have respect for each other, it keeps.
Would you say this is called love? A way of loving?
In a way, yeah.
Well, to me, love is it's friendship and it's sincerity with sexual attraction, in a nutshell.
A beautiful sentiment, feeling.
It's a beautiful feeling.
A beautiful feeling.
Have you found that feeling?
I've just lost it.
Vous avez trouvé cet amour?
Non, pas encore.
Not yet.
Pas encore.
What about you? What do you think love is? Let's test your English, shall we?
The fact is I don't have the answer.
That's fine, but what do you think love could be?
Love could be sharing great moments with a person you like to spend time with. And for example, they are my students, but I love them. Love is not only between a man and a woman. It can be shared by friends, with your relatives. It depends.
Okay, that's a hard question. To me, it is nothing but a feeling, and that's it. It makes you blind in a way or in another, and that's it.
How do you protect yourself from the blindness?
I can't protect myself. That's the problem. Yep. So that's all I have to say, to be honest.
Are you looking for love?
Not exactly. I already found it. kind of.
I really don't know what love is because I haven't experienced it. I don't feel. But
What do you think?
Yeah, it must be like something really big and very important for a lot of people.
Thank you so much. What about you?
I would say I would think it's what you see in the movies, with like that big moment when someone sees someone else and just feels that this is the person. I think that's what I would say. Just like that big feeling.
I suppose love means friendship, companionship, intimacy, togetherness, and lifelong friend. That would be what I consider love to be.
It's being unselfish and sacrificing sometimes things, what you want to do for the other person.
Thank you so much.
In your all, really. Been married 25 years. I think I know what I'm talking about. Through thick and thin, yeah. If life gets tough, you've got to stick with it and keep going, and you'll come out the other side.
Love to me, I don't believe in love. I think, what is love? Love is a really delicious pizza at the end of a long day by yourself with Netflix. That's love to me. No one else to worry about, just you enjoying yourself, being you, being a slob, loving yourself, stupid. That's it.
What about you? What do you think love is? Thank you.
Wow. I'll say freedom, whether to be with someone or to be by yourself. As simple as this for me.
That's much more poetic than what I said. Yeah, pizza's always good. Freedom's great, but pizza's a nice, substitute as well.
L'amore per me è quello che ognuno prova per I suoi figli, la cosa più grande che ci sia.
I don't know. You know that song? I don't know what love is. I want you to show me. Like, that's basically, I don't know. But that song represents how I feel.
So you're looking for love then?
You know what? No, not right. Well, I mean, there's love everywhere. I love love. I value the love that I receive from my friends and family. But all that other kind of love. Right now, I'm just kind of sticking to loving myself.
Love is a good feeling that makes you happy.
Anything else you want to add to that, or?
That's what it is.
What about you?
I think it's wishing the other person the best for life, even if it's letting go, giving space.
What about you?
Love is also sharing a nice holiday in London together. 4 women in 1 bedroom. That's love as well. And I think also accepting things, the good and the bad things with each other, and having respect for, respectful to everybody and with each other. And love is.
Love is feeling free, but not alone.
No, not alone.
Go on again.
Yeah.
Yes, I think you feel free in your love and your relationship, but when you're feeling alone, that's not a good love. Then
Even when you're together,
yes.
but when you feel lonely, it's not a good thing. No.
So basically you can be in a relationship and still feel alone, so that's not love.
Of course, yes you can. I think that happens quite a lot, really. Maybe after a few years, not in the beginning, of course, but maybe after a few years, you experience that as well. Yeah.
A few moments ago, we have talked about this, and now love is coming.
Love Talk came to the rescue.
We meet each other, and then it's beautiful when we also stay and talking about, and then you are coming.
I'm glad we were on your way.
Tell it. Yes. And now we know what love is.
Thank you so much for your time, okay? It's lovely to hear from you, really. Very interesting.